As a perfect Barbie, her closet was packed with dazzling outfits and jewelry, and whenever she went out, a butler was always by her side. Her dream was to appear on the cover of Playboy, so the whole world could see her beauty. Her 27th birthday party was lively and glamorous, surrounded by cheers and blessings, and she truly believed that happiness would last forever. But the very next morning, the envelope handed to her by the butler shattered all of that. She opened it with excitement, thinking it was a notice about becoming a cover girl. Instead, what stared back at her was a cold rejection letter.
Please move out of the mansion immediately.
I hate to say this, Shelley, but maybe it's because of your age.
But I'm 27.
Yeah, but that's 59 in bunny years.
Shock and confusion swept over Shelley. She refused to believe this sudden change, and could only stuff her luggage into an old beat-up car in a panic. Even the pet cat that had always stayed by her side refused to leave with her. As night fell, Shelley had no money at all. Unable to afford even basic toiletries, she used cheap beer as mouthwash while brushing her teeth. A patrolling police officer happened to catch her in that moment.
I'm gonna need you to blow on this.
Really? I guess.
In her innocence, Shelley misunderstood the instructions for the breath test and made an exaggerated movement, which got her mistaken for harassing a police officer and thrown into jail. In prison, Shelley, who had absolutely no real-world experience, was mocked by the other female inmates, but she did not take it to heart. Instead, she enthusiastically gave them makeup advice.
You know, you should really go for a more natural look. All that heavy makeup just hides your beauty.
I'm a dude.
Oh, well, you're good like that.
Luckily, since it was her first offense, she was released after enduring one miserable night, but her car had been impounded, and penniless, she could only wander the streets, completely sinking to the lowest point in her life. Trying to hold on to a bit of dignity, Shelley took out her makeup to touch up her face. By chance, she spotted a group of stylish young women in her mirror, and instinctively followed them to a dorm building. Full of hope, she asked the housemother if she could stay there, only to be told that only students or dorm supervisors were allowed to live there. Shelley immediately said she wanted to apply for the dorm manager position, but the housemother mocked her, saying she did not look like a good girl. It was the first time in Shelley's life that her appearance had failed to earn approval. Her pride was wounded, but she had no time to dwell on it, because if she could not find a place to stay, she would end up homeless. So she gathered her courage once again and recommended herself for the job, only to be rejected in unison. Just as she turned away in disappointment, a kind housemother ran after her and suggested that she try Zeta House. But when Shelley arrived at Zeta, the building before her was nothing like the grand estate she had once known. Still holding on to hope, she stepped forward, only to be struck by a falling sign. After stumbling backward, she fell into a flower bed and accidentally overheard that the house was about to be taken back. Because they had failed to recruit new members for so long, the place had become known as a gathering spot for losers. Hearing this, Shelley openly talked about her former glory and confidently claimed she could help Zeta return to the top. But the girls were not ready to place their trust in her.
But now I'm a homeless person.
God, I'm so sorry.
Good luck. Wait, but I can really help you guys.
Meanwhile, the Zeta members themselves were also worried sick about their lack of numbers. To make matters worse, they were all outsiders on campus, seen as oddballs by the other sororities. Just then, someone noticed that a crowd had gathered on the lawn. At the center of the circle was Shelley, gracefully striking poses, and even boys wandering in the distance were drawn toward her. Seeing this, Natalie went up to talk to Shelley. After hesitating for a moment, she proposed a partnership, because what Zeta lacked most was exactly this kind of ability to instantly draw attention. But the other girls, looking at Shelley moving in, felt nothing but suspicion and disdain. Just as everyone expected, Shelley's arrival shattered the peace of the dorm. She simply did not fit in with these girls at all. Their lifestyles and ways of thinking were completely different. Even when it came to ideas for the school charity event, once Shelley made up her mind, she immediately proposed a car wash fundraiser to attract students. Dressed in eye-catching clothes, she moved with energy and confidence while washing the cars. Natalie, however, kept glancing toward the distance, where the boy she liked was standing by a car with his friends. Shelley saw right through her and told her to show off her sexy side, but Natalie's body went stiff. Her attempt to sway her hips turned into a clumsy disaster, and she accidentally sprayed water all over her lower body. Shelley gently pushed her, hoping she would use the momentum to get closer to the boy, but Natalie got so nervous from the shove that she lost control, and the hose in her hand blasted straight into the boy's face. The boy wiped the water from his face, forced a smile, and quickly made an excuse to leave with his friends. Natalie felt crushed for having ruined everything. To help her roommates overcome their social anxiety, Shelley took them to a bar for some real-world practice, but it quickly turned into an awkward disaster. Even so,
Excuse me, you know where the crapper is? I have to drop off some timber.
Go away.
Men like their women with a little bit of mystery. So get back over there and try it again.
I have to do a very mysterious thing in there. Drop off some timber.
Definitely not drunk enough for that.
Shelley comforted them and said that at least they had taken the first step. Just then, Ashley from Phi Lambda pretended to warmly invite them to sing karaoke, falsely claiming she had already picked out the perfect song for them. Watching her roommates walk up to the stage one by one, Shelley actually felt proud before the lyrics even began. But the moment the music started, the crowd burst into laughter and jeers. The girls walked off the stage in humiliation. Ashley pretended to apologize, but in reality, she was just showing off and trying to take over the spotlight. When Shelley argued with her, she was only met with even more sharp and mocking words. Before they could even process the humiliation from the bar, a pig wearing a Zeta shirt suddenly came running out.
Enough is enough.
Let's do this. There's no way those bitches are getting our house.
After that incident, the fighting spirit inside all of them was completely ignited, and the makeover plan officially began. Shelley led the girls in renovating the old house, and personally taught them makeup, styling, and flirting skills. After the transformation, they shed their old insecurity and each revealed her own unique charm, but the money needed for recruitment was still a major problem. Just then, the school was holding a charity event, and Shelley quickly seized the opportunity. She proposed shooting a special Zeta calendar to sell, so they could both contribute to charity and raise the house's profile. To everyone's surprise, the calendar sold out almost immediately after it was released. Even the boy Natalie had a crush on was attracted to her. Ashley did not even recognize the transformed girls, and was embarrassingly shoved out of the crowd by a flood of admirers confessing their feelings.
Where are the Zetas?
We are the Zetas, 2008 edition.
And I'm in love!
At the same time, love quietly entered Shelley's life as well. She happened to meet Oliver, who worked at a nursing home.
No, I'm the Zeta sorority house mother.
You seem a little young to be a house mother.
No one knew how much those simple words meant to Shelley in her current situation. She threw her arms around Oliver in excitement, and after being invited to visit the nursing home, a beautiful connection quietly began. To help the dorm raise even more money for charity, Shelley brought her roommates and their donations to the nursing home to volunteer. Oliver was touched by Shelley's kindness and generosity, so he took the initiative to invite her out to dinner. Although Zeta had now become one of the hottest houses on campus, they still needed one more chance to recruit a new roommate, which made the upcoming dance especially important. Shelley saw right through Joanne's feelings and encouraged her to invite the boy she liked.
I'm not either, but the point is, you're a butterfly now, not an earthworm. You don't need to hide anymore.
Under Shelley's gentle gaze, Joanne ran toward the boy who made her heart race. As she ran, the brace on her leg came loose and fell apart midway, and the part of her body that had long been restricted suddenly felt free. It turned out Shelley had noticed long ago that Joanne had already recovered physically. She was only still trapped by her own insecurity, so Shelley had quietly loosened the screws beforehand, allowing Joanne to break free from that restraint with her own hands. That night at the dance, Zeta House completely stole the spotlight, while Ashley stood off to the side with her face twisted in anger. As for Shelley, encouraged by her roommates, she dressed up carefully for her date. For all her talent in transforming others, she still got nervous when it came to spending time with the man she truly liked. Shelley climbed onto a manhole cover and struck a pose, imagining a classic Marilyn Monroe moment, but reality was far less glamorous, and the hot steam burned her thigh instead.
Heard a clanging. But anyway, wow. Who knew steam can be hot?
Yeah, that's...
I wonder what they did when Marilyn Monroe did it. They probably added soothing botanicals to the steam rising from the manhole.
At first, the date was going very well, but in order to make herself seem especially desirable, Shelley deliberately mentioned that she had another date scheduled for later that evening. There was no jealousy, No attempt to hold her back. Oliver's reaction completely caught Shelley off guard. When Shelley returned to the dorm, her heart was filled with disappointment and confusion. She had clearly tried so hard to attract him, yet Oliver remained distant and even slightly annoyed. The girls tossed out ideas one after another, guessing that Oliver might prefer girls with more depth. From that moment on, Shelley immersed herself in a transformation plan, hoping to crack the code of Oliver's preferences, but she never realized that everything she was doing was simply forced imitation, not being her true self. Finally, Oliver invited her on another date. This time she deliberately removed her usual glamorous makeup, put on Natalie's thick glasses for severe nearsightedness, and spent the dinner talking about politics, trying hard to maintain a scholarly persona. While they were chatting, the restaurant owner suddenly recognized her.
I know where I know you from. You were in Playboy, girls with GEDs, right?
Oh, heck no! No! Those girls are all boobs and no brains. I'm too busy. In a library, reading books with dust on them.
Shelley panicked and quickly denied it. Because she was so nervous, she knocked over the dishes on the table when she stood up, turning the whole scene into a complete mess. The entire date ended on an awkward and unpleasant note. Just as she arrived downstairs at the dorm, an unexpected phone call came in. It was Mr. Hefner, the owner of Playboy. It turned out she had not been dismissed because of her age. Instead, it was all a scheme by a rival who coveted the title of Playmate of the Year and conspired with the butler to drive her away. Hefner promised that if she returned, she could become the dazzling cover girl everyone admired. It was the life she had once fought so hard to achieve. But when Shelley looked at the girls in the dorm, she finally realized that what she truly wanted had never been fame and admiration. What she really wanted was a warm and genuine home. At that moment, the Zeta girls were reviewing new membership applications. They were being extremely picky about the applicants, completely forgetting what it felt like to once be judged by others.
Judging other girls on their appearance? Calling them weird? I'm so glad I joined when I did because honestly, I don't think I would make the cut these days. And neither would a lot of you. I can't believe that Zeta's become just like Phi Automu. A bunch of snooty.
Shame and guilt mixed together inside them, and they instinctively wanted someone to vent their emotions on. Just then, Shelley walked in.
This is all your fault. You know what? Before you got here, we were individuals. You've turned us all into stupid bimbos.
The light in her eyes slowly faded as she announced that she would be returning to Playboy. During the farewell, she struggled to hold back her tears. In the end, she told Hefner that her earlier refusal had only been a joke. She lied to Oliver, saying she had gone to join a peacekeeping mission. Shelley returned in a grand welcome, while Cassandra was thrown out. Everything seemed to return to its former track, but while working, Shelley felt absent-minded. Her heart was filled with memories of the lively warmth of Zeta House. Ignoring the staff trying to stop her, she turned around and walked away from the photo shoot without looking back. At the same time, the Zeta girls were also missing Shelley deeply. To save Zeta House, they printed invitation letters and hoped more like-minded girls would join them, but they never expected Ashley to secretly swap the invitation letters while Lily was not paying attention. Lily, who was responsible for sending the invitations, was busy chatting with a boy and did not notice Ashley's little trick, nor did she check where the letters were actually sent. This small oversight caused a disaster that could not be undone. The targeted new members never received their invitations, and Zeta House was about to be auctioned off because of insufficient membership. The girls went to find Shelley and told her how much they missed her and what had happened. They had tried to fix the situation many times but kept failing, and gradually lost hope of saving the house. Hearing this, Shelley's fighting spirit was reignited. She led the girls straight into the hearing and confidently stepped onto the stage, beginning a clumsy but heartfelt speech. Using her own experience as an example, Shelley spoke sincerely. She admitted that she had once been obsessed with her appearance and desperate for beauty.
And even though I was itching like crazy, it was worth it to feel accepted. And so I couldn't wait to get a cold so I could take my erythromycin. But underneath that beautiful glowing skin, I still had that cold. I am not an expert giver, but I do know that one day, when your looks are gone, if everything you have is based on looks, well then you've got nothing. You need your friends and your family by your side to love you for who you are, not what you look like.
Through her own transformation, Shelley proved that the true spirit of Zeta was not about changing appearances, but about accepting people for who they truly were. She called for more girls to stand up and support Zeta. Those students who longed to be accepted began raising their hands one after another. Ashley's face grew darker and darker. When the number stopped at 29, she quickly stood up and urged the judge to proceed. Just as the gavel was about to fall, Harmony, who had just given birth, rushed into the room holding her baby high, but only students were allowed to support the dorm. Hearing this, Ashley smirked with satisfaction and mocked them. What she never expected was a firm voice speaking up from beside her.
I would like to pledge Zeta. What?
Everyone turned toward the sound. It was Ashley's own follower. She had long been tired of Ashley's manipulation and pressure, and had finally decided to choose genuine warmth instead. Ashley was so furious she could not say a word. She could only watch helplessly as the girl walked over to stand with Zeta. Everyone embraced each other and cheered loudly. Not only had they saved the house, they had protected a home where people could bravely be themselves. Everything seemed unbelievably perfect, but there was still a small empty space in Shelley's heart. She thought about the unfinished connection between herself and Oliver. Just as she turned around, she suddenly froze. The person she had been thinking about all along was standing right there. Coming back to her senses, Shelley looked at Natalie with eyes full of gratitude. She had always believed that she needed to pretend in order to be loved, but the truth proved that real love requires no pretending and no compromise. To thank Shelley for everything she had done for them, the girls of Zeta decided to throw her a huge party. Every face was filled with happiness, and the story finally reached its perfect ending. The House Bunny is not just a flashy makeover comedy. It is a gentle love letter to imperfect girls. You do not need to become someone else's version of perfect. You only need to become the one and only version of yourself, because sincerity and passion will eventually make you shine with the brightest light.